move back to the future.
I don't got time to hear about the criticism. Rap serial killer looking for another victim. Come and get your issue. You don't really with the 9 bitch slashing at you muffins just like you carry you.
What's good, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy K with the AKA Mr. Getting It Done here. And this is another exciting episode of Getting It Done. And today we have the incredible opportunity. In fact, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. We have an esteemed guest, and he ain't come alone, y'all. Yes, indeed. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the reason why people are afraid of the dark or even to open their closet at night. We got him. He's here live and direct. He's in the building. Boogeyman. I'm talking about none other than Blessing Awadwabu. And you are also joined by a good friend. We're going to say Gav86, Gav King 86. Brother, come on in here and let everybody know who you are and what your contribution is today to this conversation.
Well, I suppose I started training with Blessing back in 2017 when he started his amateur run, and kind of run all the way through with him full circle to now. And kind of it's been an amazing process to kind of seeing him go from amateur to not just going all the way through, like without any, restriction. He's had ups and downs. Obviously, prior to that, in the last podcast, you saw how he came from where he was in Africa to where he is now, and that's a challenge in itself to get to that part. And then to get to where he wants to go in bodybuilding, where we're from in Ireland, is like not many people make a living out of it. People might say that they're getting something, but they're getting paid in protein powder or something like that. You know what I mean? That's not getting paid.
Still something.
And just to see it go full circle, and as I say, I was just with a coach one time, and it was an online coach, and just didn't really kind of, we'll get them on the next one kind of attitude. And I was like, okay, well, that's not going to fly with me. And then I just reached out to him. I just was at a show one year, and I was just looking around, and he walked in. And then whether you like him or you don't like him, everyone was like, there was a presence, you know, and I saw that in him. And then just when all that kind of came full circle, I was like, okay, I'm going to hit this guy up and sort of see where we go from here. So, I mean, I didn't even finish in the top 6 in my first show, and then as soon as I met him, I started placing. So, so that brought us together, and then I just saw the way he trained. I was training like long, and people were like, you can't be doing this, it's crazy. And then I saw the way that he trained with another guy, Darius, and then I was like, okay, I got to get these guys to see my potential to kind of to let me train with them, because you know that for me, like, it's like when I started off in bodybuilding, it was just one day I was just sort of partying a bit too much, and I was in a nightclub actually, and I was just standing there and literally just sweating, like, you know, overweight job, you know what I mean, just let myself go. I used to be always playing rugby and stuff before that, but just a period that I just took the brakes off.
Okay.
And then just that night I just went home, and I was like, this is not the way this is going to end up for me. You know what I mean? And that morning, got up, said, I'm going to start running. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I did, start running. Gym opened up down the road. I said, fuck it. If I can't go to that, I'm not going to go to any gym. You know what I mean? It's literally, 400 or 500 meters down the road. So that's when I got into it, and just sort of over time just learned that, I didn't start off, join the gym with, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. That naturally started to progress as I started to kind of make progress quicker than others, sort of. So that kind of held me in. And then the more I trained, the less I needed, going out and partying and that, because I realized that when I give up things, I get something else in return for that. So it's very rewarding. But it's a personal reward. Like, it's something I always say to people. It's like and sometimes people probably say to you all the time, it's like, oh, I'd love to look like that. But I go, that's not the point. Does it make you happy? Will it make you happy?
Okay.
You know what I mean? And guys even say to me, oh, I'd love to earn 250,000 euro a year or whatever. It doesn't make a difference what the money is. I was like, but at the end of the day, if you were getting paid 20 grand doing what you love, you'd be more fulfilled than taking that money home every day. Yes, you'll be able to do other things with that. But ultimately, happiness isn't materialistic. It's internal, and it's a matter of pride, and kind of setting off, on a goal that 2 other people, to be honest with you, especially in Ireland, when I started bodybuilding, people were like, "Oh, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? This is crazy. Like, you're gonna go out there in a pair of, underwear like that, and,
underwear."
but you know what I mean. But that's called comfort zones. And if you stay there for too long, it becomes a dead zone.
100%.
Okay. So his name is Gav King 86. He's very, very, very new to the bodybuilding scene here in the United States. Coming from Ireland, he is a dear friend of our beloved Blessing. And we got a chance today to have a really cool conversation as we get a little bit of the insight that went into some of the process of prep for this competitive season, and hopefully we'll get some light shed on what will be the things to come in the expected future for Blessing and his dear friend. So what we're going to do right now is we want to open this thing up, and I wanted to be the first to introduce you to Mr. Blessing on the back end of the competitive experience this season. We opened up this season doing both the Indy Pro and the New York Pro. Yeah. And Blessing, I wanted to get you to share with us some of how you saw this experience this season and the outcome at first the Indy Pro.
I mean, going into my pro debut, I mean, there was a lot of excitement and whatnot. There was a lot of trash talking and back and forth with myself and Nick Walker.
Who?
Nick Walker.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
In a goal of creating this rivalry, this narrative, and just selling the show, basically. So.
And that was the New York Pro. That was the second of the two to come.
That was the main event. I rather from the get go, I planned to do the Indy Pro just to get my feet wet, see what's like in the pro league. Stepping up on the pro stage. For after being off stage for 4 or 5 years, so it's not going to be easy the first time. So that's why we decided to do the indie show, and then from there maybe we're going to make a couple of mistakes, and then we're going to fix it for New York, and that's exactly what happened. Going into my pro debut, everybody expected a lot of big things from me. Just like I said, I expected a lot of big things for myself as well. With just the way I carried myself and the way I put myself out there, and the way I sort of market myself and, trying to sell the show and trying to bring something new into the sport. That was my, Now,
take me back for a minute, because one of the things that I think is unique and personal to your story is the fact that, one, this is in fact your rookie year as a competitive pro bodybuilder. But prior to saying that, the truth also is that you are an influencer, meaning you have, hundreds of thousands and millions of followers across the entire expanse of your social media platform. Now, with saying that, that means that you have a responsibility as a kind of entrepreneur, in the sense that getting ready for a show for you means that you're an athlete, but because you are also a personality in the public eye, with obviously a responsibility to maintain keeping that audience satisfied with the continuance of content and, I guess, material that allow them to feel as if they're still in contact and engagement with that personality component. Getting ready for a show, being the athlete and the entertainer, the personality, was that difficult for you? And how do you think you handled that process, getting ready for your first pro show?
And that's actually one of the main reasons why I carried myself and marketed myself the way I did going into my pro debut, because half of my followers, maybe if not 99% of my followers, they're a young crowd, and most of them are following me for the entertainment reasons, because the way of all the stuff I post on IG and stuff, and me going into my pro debut, like a lot of these guys don't understand nothing about bodybuilding, and I'm asking myself, how can I present the sport of bodybuilding that we all love to my followers that does not have any connection with bodybuilding, that they all watch football, soccer, boxing, because it's a lot more fun than what bodybuilding is. So I was asking myself, how can I present that to my followers to get them engaging and get them interested? So I thought about, and from the get-go, I always, believe like I can do something big in bodybuilding. I want to bring something new to bodybuilding. You know, like, you know, one of my biggest inspirations, Arnold. Watching Poppin' Iron, see what Arnold did for the sport. You know, going from, you know, bodybuilder to the movie industry, and just all that combined in one, and just being that personality. So that's where I wanted to bring to the sport of bodybuilding, and bring all the entertainment back, bring all the rivalry back, everything, you know. So going into my debut, I thought it would be nice to create a little narrative between myself and another Rocky dude who was pretty big in the sport. Everybody's kind of excited to watch, you know. So that's why, you know, I sort of call out Nick. And to be honest, I think we create something pretty big for New York Pro, and as well for Indie Pro, because we got everybody really like glued to bodybuilding for a whole 10 weeks straight because of the back and forth.
That's
like,
genius.
Oh, yeah.
So wait a minute. So are you saying that you really did not have an issue with Nick? Did you did you hate him?
Nah, it's like, this is sport. You know, it's like you see this in boxing, you see this in MMA. You know, at the end of the day, all these guys, you know, after the fight, they hug each other, and you have utmost respect for each other. Nothing personal against Nick.
You had nothing personal against
nothing
Nick.
personal against
Really?
Nick.
Behind the scenes? Be honest.
Nah, man, me and Nick are cool as fuck.
So are you really cool with him?
We're probably going to do this again later on the year, but for now, we're cool.
Wait. Now, I can recall a little bit, you know, being in the gym one day, you know, and actually seeing, was it a scout or a spy from his camp? Was that rumor, or did that really actually happen? Did he send someone to your gym?
I actually don't know whether they actually sent him to see what the boogeyman's looking like or whatnot, but I did saw his training partner at Recon One
Wait a
Gym.
minute. So his training partner?
Yes, he came out to Recon One.
He came to Redcon One Gym.
Yes.
Really? Did he start talking shit? Did he look
No. You know what? I actually started talking shit.
No?
You know me.
He got in first.
Because I saw this guy looking at me like, yo, this guy, this is the Nick.
Wait, did he say he wanted to fight? What was this?
Nah, he wouldn't want that.
So wait a minute. So he just came there just to stir the pot. So
Actually, when we got talking, because he was looking, I'm like, yo, what's up? It was like, yeah, what's up? I said, your boy's going to lose. You know that? It was like, ha. Then he came over and we got talking, you know, and he's like, oh, you know, he got a couple of clients competing nearby. So that's why, you know, he came to support them. So that's why he was stopping by at Recon One Gym. And
so he wasn't coming to call you out.
I mean, to be honest, there's so many gyms around here that I could have gone to.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think one of the main reasons why I came to Recon One is by chance Wed is going to be able to see me.
Do you think he was trying to carry a message then of intimidation
100%,
for Nick?
because we were like 3 weeks out, right?
Yeah, were you there to see this?
Yeah.
And how did you take that experience?
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, as soon as he came, as soon as he, like, even like say when we're at the check-ins, like, you know, he'll initiate it all, like, you know what I mean? But it's all playful.
So you saw this thing coming and you cut it off at the head.
100%.
I love that about you. That's a man's.
Yeah,
that's a man's position.
That's where you gotta be.
And sometimes I'm like, you know, easy now. But it's all good.
It's whatever, man. With me, it's whatever. You know.
So you were ready, whatever it was going to be.
I'm always ready. Bro.
And it just turned out that he wasn't there to create any
cool.
problems.
Nah,
or
we
anything.
actually talk. We shake hands. You know, I actually told him like, look, listen, I've no person against Nick. This is all y'all's fun and games, and we're just trying to give the fans something exciting. And to be honest, I think it worked because like we literally had everybody talking bodybuilding for 10 weeks straight.
Yeah.
We had all the bodybuilding news, YouTube dudes. This is their topic every day. Even right now, you know, all these pages were getting the most engagement when, you know, we were going back and forth because everybody wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
So whenever they post a picture of me or Nick, everybody's got something to say.
Yeah.
Everybody, and a lot of things I was getting a lot of hate from it because people think I took it too far. And that I was being very disrespectful.
Well, what does that mean? What help me understand? Because if I'm a lame person out there right now hearing this interview, and I hear you saying that people thought that you took it too far, what does that mean?
I don't even know what that means, bro.
I think it's just like a lot of people just think everyone should be just very respectful and in bodybuilding and not just to. I don't know if we just don't want the sport to have that spark anymore. Like, I mean, at one stage, you know, bodybuilding was on Eurosport and some ESPNs. Why have we gone backwards, in my opinion, like if we're not on TV?
So what is respect, though? What does that mean? What is the respect that you
hardcore
weren't giving?
The hardcore bodybuilders. Just
Yes, I mean in bodybuilding, like everyone's used to like, oh, let's just be nice to everybody. Even some of the time, you know, just besides yourself and Phil, that press conference was crazy because you guys don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, but right now, when you left and you know Phil there's not really much happening in the sport. You know, now you sit down watching the Olympia press conference, everyone just quiet. No one's trying to offend anybody. I'm just here to take my second place, and you know, I just hope everybody does well. You know, so people are used to that sort of respect.
But that's why I thought. That's why I thought what you and Nick offered the sport was something that was not only missed, but I really believed it. I really, between you and me, I didn't like Phil. You know. That there was a part of that really just you could not fabricate. I did not like him, and quite honestly, I know he didn't like me. Now, that wasn't something to act. That was something that was very real. Yeah. And now, when I saw, because I actually was there. I was there. I think
you was one. You was part of the first video,
dude. Now I didn't talk to the dude that came in the gym that day. You know, when I saw him and I saw you confront him. You know, I want to be a good steward. I want to be a good ambassador for the sport. I want to represent the larger increase of all the companies that my personality speaks to the positive increase of. However, if Nick Walker's training partner came to our gym that day working in an effort to violate our safe space, then yeah, man, I didn't like that, and I took that very personally.
Yeah,
you know,
I think a lot of people would.
You know, and I really want to take a minute, even in this moment, as we kind of remember that day. You masterfully handled that.
Oh yeah,
you were diplomatic, you were animated, you were still friendly. And you also gave a deliberate message right back to him. Take that to the king. I believed in the rivalry component that you offered. In that moment, I felt like I was in the neighborhood with my boy. And these cats was coming up in here looking like they was representing another set. Now, I'm not saying that's how I choose to live my life, if I'm, you know, less than, I'm some kind of thug. However, that day, I felt like there was a disrespect. Now, if that is what we want to call disrespect, I thought that was what Nick's guy did that day.
He went to my spot.
Exactly. So with that,
I should have pulled out the strap.
Hey, well, you know.
Oh my God!
If there were ever a time when their actions merited that, I would have thought that was certainly no one needs to be shooting the body. We don't do that. Yeah, we don't do that. However, we certainly frown on those kinds of actions.
I'm telling you, we're gonna make the front page and the news.
100%.
Hey, and I believed it. So if you're telling me now
bodybuilding is on TV.
That's right. We got work to do. We still trying to.
Hey, but we ain't trying to shoot nobody.
Right. Yeah, no. But you know, that day, I believed in that rivalry, and I believed in the thought that you did not appreciate what Nick represented and what his friend represented in the form of a threat that was stepping up into our safe space that day, looking to infringe. So that said, for me, I really felt like it was time to be quiet, pay attention, and yo, man, you are not welcome. You know, and that was my position, and I was definitely, you know, looking to stand true to that. But I want to say that you handled that so well that there was nothing else that needed to be done. You stood up as a man, as an athlete, and as an entrepreneur. You commanded the respect in that situation that made us all proud.
I think one thing that's great about Blessing that most people don't have is his ability to kind of say, if I was doing that, I'd be like, oh shit, what is he going to say back? You know what I mean? I'd be preempting that. And then eventually what would happen is I'd get more angry than starting it, you know, that kind of way. I just know that's about, but with him, it's like he's ringing me and like, it's like, you know, he's like a puppet master, you know, he's controlling everything. And we're talking about stuff how they're going to react, you know, that kind of way. So it's easy to control what's going on then, you know. But listen to me, when it first started going off, it's like, even I was in Ireland, I was like, oh shit, I need to get over here now. It's like, you know what I mean? And you're like, you're not, I was like, geez, this New York Pro backstage is going to be popping off, you know.
So now, listen to what you're saying. You're saying that as a friend, as an enthusiast of the sport, as a supporter of the sport, when you were back home in Ireland, and you saw your friend Blessing mixing shit up, getting caught up in the mix, and knowing that that's going to be the fight, the big fight on the big card at the New York Pro, you were encouraged, you were inspired, and you wanted to make sure that you participated and supported in any way possible.
100%.
So much so that you got on a plane.
Yeah. Went to Mexico for 2 weeks.
To Mexico. Now, what was that about? You went to Mexico?
Because of the EU travel ban at the moment.
So you had to travel ban? You had to go to Mexico from Ireland?
Yeah, for 15 days to quarantine. And then after the 15th day, then I could fly here and get around it.
So before coming to the United States,
you
had to first fly to Mexico, quarantine for 15 days, before you could come to the United States from there.
Correct.
Wow, and you did all that.
Yeah.
In an effort to be a part of the magic that was happening.
I was never missing this. I mean, even if I had to go to Mexico and they didn't let me in, I was going over to Rio Grande, so I was getting in, no matter what. But yeah, no, it was. You know, with all this stuff that's going on, it's like we talk. If people kind of listen to us in the gym, I'm sure everyone's
listen. It's all right.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, the stuff that like we talk about is, you know what I mean? We're talking beyond. It's crazy. I would say to him, a couple of years, you're gonna need a black Terminator. You're gonna be. You just don't know but if you don't think about it, it's not gonna happen. Or if
it was all planned.
or when the opportunity might present itself, you won't be prepared for it.
Yes. So what does that mean when you say in a couple of years they're gonna need a black Terminator? You were telling this to your friend Blessing. What did you mean when you said that?
Well, just like because. Like I always say stuff to him, like, you know, you're the future Terry Crews or something like that. You know what I mean? But that's where I see him going. It could either be WWE because of his personality. It's very, you know, when you meet him, you'll know when you meet him. Like, you meet certain people that have a certain kind of
charisma
and pull,
charm,
you know, exactly,
magnetism,
you know, all of them. Things. But you know what I mean? And that's the thing about him. He's able to control it. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference between other people. Other people, as I say, like me, if I started that with Nick or something like that, eventually it will just come full circle on me and I'll go, oh, Jesus, now I'm on the end of this. You know, that kind of way where everything's thought and planned. He's like a storyteller.
Yeah.
And it's a narrative. And he'll control the narrative. Do you know what I mean? It's like people now in bodybuilding will be calling him out next time it's go time.
Right.
Why? Because they want to get some hype. They want to get some clout.
Because it sells.
If you like, I mean, still to this day, let's go back to Nick and Blessing. I still want to see the mutant against the Booyah. That stuff is just, you know,
and it's gonna happen.
Well, understanding that there were a lot of things that went into the process of preparing for the Indie Pro, the first pro show. Now, the performance aspect of it, the hype, the interest was peaked. You know, with the fact that it looked like you and Nick Walker didn't really gel too well. And that's to say it. You know, there was a time when it really looked, even to me, being on the inside. I mean, I came to Redcon One Gym every day to train. There was a time when I really did feel that
I don't like you.
You don't like this guy. You know what I mean? And that this guy didn't like you. And the truth is, if I were just judging by the clashes or the shots that were being fired, you know, back and forth on the social media platform, I really thought, well, you had to choose whose side you were going to be on. You know,
that's what happened.
That's good because you want that tribal rivalry because that really, you put your colors on and you stand there. You know, that kind of way, and that's what you want to see. That's like, you know, why people are into NFL, all the other sports, because they nail their colors to the mast,
right?
And they go with it
right.
no matter what, ride or die.
Right,
I'm going
right.
with this guy no matter what happens, and that's just the way it is. And when you have that kind of build up and, you know, and I believe that, like, as well, that kind of rivalry, whether, you know, okay, you're talking to friends now, but if we're 10 weeks out and we know we're up against the mutant, it's back on. Do you know what I mean? Because whether anyone wants to admit it or not, it'll make both of these guys better to have rivalries. Because, you know, say you and Phil, I think that rivalry worked well as well to make you give every last bit of energy.
Yeah, but I really wanted to beat him though.
Yeah, but it makes you work harder, right? Because you really wanted to beat him.
Because
you don't like him.
I didn't like him.
Yes.
He didn't like me.
Yes.
But it's a good.
So you got to do them extra reps.
You know, it's, to have that is you know, it's a good.
I think it's
motivator,
healthy.
You know? I think it's healthy too. I like that. You know, sometimes like, you know, positive motivation is just, you know, negative motivation sometimes.
It is an energy.
It
is and a very useful one.
Sometimes people say to me, "No, you shouldn't be doing that," and I go, "But it fucking works."
And there is a lot to be said for that.
You know?
There's a lot
and
to be
that's why
said for that.
I like when people say to bless it, "Oh, you got no legs." It's like, okay, keep on. It's like a Michael Jordan thing. Keep on fucking talking about that. But when we go back on stage, you're gonna eat them motherfucking words.
Okay. So with this said, okay, so we know now, yes, you know, you're a charismatic personality that has a huge following on social media. You know, we understand that unlike most competitive professional bodybuilders, their rookie year, you have already blossomed into full bloom when we consider the fact that you are a highly sought after influencer with a huge following to your credit on your social media platform. When we come into this experience now of learning how to develop your skill sets to be a competent master of your craft as a professional bodybuilder in this game, how does that conflict with the expectation of continuing to be the content producing influencer while still trying to be the professional athlete striving to improve his game with concentrated focus?
You know, that's why, you know, that's one thing that throughout the whole back and forth with Nick, that's one thing that people do not respect about me, because they don't believe it is possible to be a personality person in this kind of entertainment world and still turn to be a professional bodybuilder, you know, and because they don't take me serious. They just, that's why they all say the Instagram bodybuilder, you know, just the clown guy. You just stick to making your funny videos, and because out here, you know, you got to be a hardcore bodybuilder and keep your head down and just work, you know. But that's what I'm trying to show them. Like, it's not like that, because you see somebody doing these and doing that doesn't mean they're not serious about both of them, or you can't do both of them. You know, and people think I don't take my shit serious, but actually bodybuilding is my life. That's what I do. I don't mess with that shit from day one. You know, the extra stuff that I do, that's just, you know, way of sort of marketing myself and get myself to where I'm at right now. Like from the start, if I focus just on bodybuilding, nobody will know where the boogeyman is, because I will still be back in Ireland with no followers, nobody knows my name. Because like bodybuilding alone, it is very hard to survive, because it is a hard sport, probably one of the hardest sport out there, because it's literally 24/7. And I don't think there's not a lot of people that actually get too much out of it. Even the top guys that compete at the top levels, you know, top 6, a lot of these guys still doing a full-time job, you know. So that's the thing. Like, you know, when they see me making all this video, they don't believe I can be a professional bodybuilder, and that's what I'm trying to show them, and that's what I did, you know. Except that, you know, of course, we did not get the result that we wanted, but it's not because I was not focused. This prep was probably the prep that I worked the hardest, the most, the prep that I was most focused, you know, because I gave it all I got, you know what I mean? And that's why me looking back now, like with zero regrets, because I did everything. I was in shape. 4 or 5 weeks out, I was ready to step on stage, you know, and I followed what my coach said to a T. So that's why when I look back now, zero regrets. You know, it's like, oh, let's say if I didn't work hard enough and I was not in shape, then I'd be like, damn, I wish I did that. I wish I did that. I wish I listened to Kai. I wish I listened to my coach. You know, even a lot of things you told me, I was like, watch out, Kai. You're telling me too much. I'm going to use this against you because I'm doing everything, you know? So, you know, when it comes to like, you know, being focused, I was extremely focused, and doing the extra stuff, being the entertainment guy, you know, making all them content, skit and that does not deter me from my main mission.
Is it harder for you though? Was it, do you think it was harder for you to really be the focused athlete, getting ready to compete and have your best of your best represented on that stage this year, while contending with the challenges of still being a personality that had to still get the content, still be on top of talking to your viewers, talking to your fans, being able to say the things that at times, would seem like disrespectful of another champion, simply because, hey man, you had to assert the right thinking personality that is an athlete, but also a showman. Was it harder for you to prepare for this event?
It was very easy, and that's why I was able to combine the two into one. You know what I mean? Bringing that entertainment from the outside and the bodybuilding industry and combining them into one, creating that rivalry. Again, all my followers, they were calling me up. They were messaging me, bro. What is this thing? What is the Boogeyman versus Snake? Is that a MMA fight? Is that because they don't know nothing about bodybuilding, and that was my only way of getting them interested. Because at the end of the day, everybody's down for the entertainment. So when we're able to, mash entertainment and bodybuilding together, you get something exciting.
Wow.
Even for those that don't understand what a sport is, before they know it, they're already seeing us on stage with Puss in Trunks on. Wow, this is great. I like this.
And then they're buying the
and
pay-per-view.
then they're buying pay-per-view because they want to see what happens.
Could you have seen yourself squaring off fighting, Nick? I mean, we are talking about entertainment. We're talking about selling tickets.
I mean, yeah.
How much money they're going to pay for?
Hey,
how much money we making?
If you can get that money going, we'll do anything,
To be honest, right? If it's like, this is me, right? When I approach somebody, it's like let's say like Nick Walker's trainer partner that came to our gym. My approach was sort of like, it can go either way. It's like, yo, what's up? She looking at me, and I was like, hey, what's up? And then I know, it's like,
he smiles.
I'm sort of like giving that
playful,
positive,
kind of cowardly, not playful,
but
cowardly.
But if you take it the wrong way, we can switch it up. We got a lot of shit on this side. We talked about it,
I was relieved when I saw the cowardice, all around him. Oh, okay, yeah, he's non-threatening. Okay, hey, Blessing, you handled that masterfully. But please don't have to be called.
Yeah. The first time we saw Nick, then I was like, oh God, what way is this coming? This is at the check-in.
It is at the check-in. I was like, what happened? It was looking at me. I was looking at him, and I was like, what's up? It was like, you ready? I was like, I got you, bro. It was like, make sure them legs are full or some shit like that.
Oh, that's what he said.
He said, make sure them legs are full.
Nick Walker said that to you?
He said that.
At the show? At the
way it was
New York Pro weigh-in?
Yeah, it was going over to his
we were
parents.
sitting just in the lobby. And he was just walking through. It was
So I was looking at him. I was looking at him. What's up?
And then he came over. It was great when we went backstage to the actual show.
No
remember
way.
you were putting your tan on and he walks by and he just comes into your face.
Wait. So did he look serious or was he just playing?
No, he's playing.
Our first time
He's
meeting
playing,
was the
man.
check-in, the weigh-in, where when he came over, I was not, I'm just having a little bit of fun, and he knows it. That's understood it because he watch a lot of the podcasts where I actually give him so much respect and letting everybody know, because at the start people don't understand what this is. Right. People were taking it so. That was the goal. Let them take it serious. Let them do all the talking. Let them do whatever they want, because the fans are gonna take it either way. Some gonna like it, some not gonna. Even the people that don't like it are still talking about it. There's a video actually there when if everything could start going, we saw people setting Wreck 1 stuff on fire.
What?
For real?
That's tribal now.
It was. I was like, shit.
Wow.
I remember Aaron hit me up. He goes, "This is great. Keep it going."
Wow. Wow.
Even I was like, shit, what if I started?
Yeah.
People were setting record on a pair on fires, the supplement pointing out. I'm like, yo, this is serious now.
Great.
But Aaron understand it. This is marketing.
Yeah.
This is we got everybody talking. It's never really. It was a rare thing in bodybuilding, especially your time, the Olympia, you and Phil. And people love that. And at the end of the day, people do not expect myself and Kid to be cool, Nick to be cool. So when I dropped that picture on Instagram of me and Nick shaking hands, everybody went crazy. And now all the people that were talking shit about me that I have no respect, I just talk all this shit. Now they're coming back to, wow, bro, I'm a big fan, big respect.
Wow.
So
Good.
at the end of the day, it turned out well for me,
That's good.
because going into this, I've said it to him, like, yo, what if things go the other way, bro? The memes, the joke. But like, they know I was prepared for that. Because, this is bodybuilding. You don't always win. It's like boxing, where Conor McGregor will talk all that shit and then get knocked out in the first round.
Wow.
Especially with the Khabib.
Wow.
Now, imagine that. Wow. That's it. So you got to have some sort of extremely strong mindset.
Absolutely.
That whatever happens, I am ready because I put myself in this position. I put myself out there like that. So the fans are going to come at me. And I am so ready for whatever they want, So, and people really respect the way I sort of like handle the, like, well,
Of course, the people
give me your best shot.
They don't understand. Like as I said, a lot of people can't put themselves out there like that. It's a very difficult thing to do.
It's risky.
But see, that's also, I think, one of the things that identify the entertainer, the showman, because there's an old statement that says something like, for the entertainer, for the showman, a pie in the face comes with every job. So when you are the entertaining personality, a lot of times, like in the old vaudeville times, or even in the times where in medieval times when you had the court jester, they were identified as the fool. But it was through their attempts and their willingness to fall on their face, to hit themselves in the face with the pie, to be the butt of the joke. As long as the people are laughing, they are entertained.
Yes.
So the idea that in an effort to be entertaining, you almost have to be willing to accept the pie in the face. So it almost means as if I would believe, I'm interpreting this to think that the personality that recognizes himself as a performer, as an entertainer, when working in that capacity of aiming to be entertaining, everyone is not going to sit there and approve of your style of telling the joke or your style of telling the story. Everyone will not necessarily agree with what you said or how you said it. How many times have you seen a comedian have to either apologize or explain later, well, I didn't mean any disrespect, with the attempt of, putting together some of the material that I was, recently said in my last comedy show. But the pie in the face in that respect is what they were prepared for. And what I saw you do at the New York Pro and at the Indie Pro, you didn't shy away from the fans and the enthusiasts that came up to you and wanted to still take a picture with you. I saw you still demonstrate the patience and the conscious thinking required to recognize, those things that were still very, very important with respect to being the personality and dealing with your responsibility in a responsible way. A lot of times when the athlete, and I've been the athlete in the situation of going to a competition, aiming for a desired end result, doing my best effort, but then still walking out of there shy of the desired end result as I intended it to be. And now I'm embarrassed. And as an athlete with the pride and commitment to the effort, it's very different from being the entertainer that's willing to accept the pie in the face. The athlete that sets his pride on the ability to come up and show well and to do everything that I said that I wanted to do. I wanted to win. I wanted to punch him in his face. I wanted to show every fan that supported him that it was wrong to go against me. How dare you bet against me? And all of that stuff was inside of me.
Oh, yeah.
Even when I didn't get the trophy, and it was like, oh my God, I wanted to hide. I did not want to walk out. And to be very honest with you, there are times when I didn't. I did not leave the auditorium the same way that I would have had I walked out of there with top honors. What I saw you do that I think is incredibly noteworthy. You rookie pro debut, very high expectations.
Oh, yeah.
You came out there, you did your best, and when you were not met with the desired goal, with the desired end result that as we expected, you did not cower, you did not run, you did not hide, you did not allow your pride to cause you to sink into a hole in the middle of the floor. Nope, you stood there like a man. And you still greeted your fans, you greeted the enthusiasts, and you still went on your social media platform and you addressed everyone that had something to say with the dignity that was set on your terms. Respect. That's respectful. I respect that.
You can't let it, you can't let it, because I understand, life is a journey, and to every single one of us, we're writing a book, and it's not about how we start or what happens to us along the way, It's about not giving up and just keep writing and keep going, because for me, it's like, myself, my journey in bodybuilding is I understand my ability. I know what I can do. I wasn't just talking shit for talking shit. I know I have the ability to do a lot of damage. I can beat all these guys if everything was done right and at a perfect timing. I believe my time is coming, and I got to stay true to myself. I'm bringing this energy to the sport of bodybuilding that it's a little different. Whether win or lose, it's still the same energy, so nothing changes. So that's my perspective. I was ready for everything, So I mean, and I feel like that's the way it should be, And when acting the way I did, actually take power away from the real haters, because what they expect you to do is cower in and just not say nothing back and just feel all depressed and it's gone. See, it got humbled, But that's not the way it is, That's when I even put myself even out there even more. There's a post that I made that a lot of people didn't expect me to do it. I posted a video of me posting, I think it was like 4 weeks out, where I was looking real good, and I asked my haters, whatever, but supporters, what do you guys think I should bring up? So I'm just leaving myself out there openly. Critique me, tell me what I need to work on, and I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna come back next year and destroy all these guys, And that comes with experience of being on social media, whatever influencer, whatever you guys want to call it, for a long period of time. Especially coming from where I came from. Growing up in Ireland, you get to see a lot of things. You get to a lot of things that people would consider as racism. To be honest, I never let race come into anything. When I just see a bad comment, it's just a bad comment. You're just a bad person. So I've heard everything. I've seen everything. So I'm like kind of numb to it, So at this stage, look, give it to me. And most of the time I actually do reply back to them with laugh. And then they're going to come back like, wow, bro, you actually reply back to me. So oftentimes those people that throw negative your way, they're just looking for an attention. They're looking for your reply. Right. So if you show love back to them, and everybody's reading that comment, so everybody will get to know who you really are, With the back and forth with me, Nick, there's so many comments that you would consider racism. One of them example was there's one other guy where I left the comment, and Nick, probably one of my trash talking comments, and he said, this guy commented, he goes, how did you escape from your alt in them little wooden house, what you call it? How'd you escape from Africa? That Nick is gonna send you back. I mean, you would consider that that's a racist shit right there. But I told him, I was like, I replied back, I was like, no, I dug a tunnel and made it to Europe in a joking way. So it's like a lot of times like that when I get comments like that, I just reply back with a little bit of joke or love. So they know I'm the last person to take shit serious.
That is beautiful.
That
is beautiful. Now,
that's
I wouldn't have been like that.
You got to be able to take power away from these people.
I stopped at your mother's house on the way.
That's again. That's a
funny. You do that a lot. You reply back to a lot of comments with love, or even with more dark jokes.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody laugh at it. I'm like, oh, Kai is even laughing at himself. That is the best shit ever.
I learned though that grapefruit could not be the death of me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit. Oh my God.
But I've also had the better part of 20 years, you know, of having that. And that, you know, that stuff is, you know, so I you know, I have a little bit of experience at this point. So I know that thin skin at this point for me would just not be an option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you have developed that for yourself. That awareness is one of the things that I think really set you apart and allow you to really, you know, give yourself the opportunity to not give up just yet. And to, you know,
we just warming up,
Just warming up, you know. That's the thing. You know, I always say to him, I was like, you know, look, think where we're going to be in like 2-3 years. It's like we're going to be sitting right up that table, fighting for the top spots. You know, or year in, year out. You know, like we've talked about, say that stuff like, you know, press conferences. You said earlier on, that's going to be lit, man. That's going to be
you know, it's like all this thing we planned it. We talked about this.
we're thinking about before
This
it's even
bro,
happening.
we've been talking about this for like last 3 years. What we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it. You know, make it into that first Olympia. You know, press conference. What are we gonna say? What are we gonna target? Because it's like, you know, again, this is law of attractions. You know, if you believe yourself well enough and you have the courage to speak it, all these things will come to pass. You know, it might take time. It might not come the time that you were expecting it. Like this year, I was really expecting myself to, you know, to make it to the Olympia and crack into the top 6. That was my goal. You know,
which is a huge,
it is a huge goal. And
goal
I'm
to
telling
undertake.
you, people believe that. People do actually believe. I got a message from like, yo, bro, you're gonna make tops. You're gonna kill all these
That's
shows.
because people see
People
they
see it.
see it,
And I have the
once you see it.
ability. I'm not just saying it. I have the ability to do that. And I believe in my work ethic. Nobody outworks me, you know. But again, this is bodybuilding. This isn't basketball where you know, it's skills versus skills, and it's about the body, you know. Whether your body might respond today, it might not respond tomorrow. It might respond tomorrow, and it's just it's a lot for me. It's still early, and it's a lot for me to figure out, and we're still figuring it out, you know.
What's the biggest lesson you'd say that you learned this competitive pro season that you will add to your arsenal now that will help you by leaps and bounds prepare for next season for you?
You know, like as an amateur, you know, turning pro and then going into your rookie debut, making your pro debut, it's like the pro stage is a lot different than what I expect. Like these guys do not play. These guys are huge, you know, and that's one of the things. Like, you know, I am so glad that I did step on that stage, make those mistakes that I made, and now knowing what I gotta do. You know, it is impossible to know that if you haven't stepped on that stage. But me stepping on that stage, I'm like, oh damn, this is how it is. This is what I gotta do. Now my mindset is different. Now my work ethic. You know, I thought it was here before. Now it's here now. It's a lot higher now. You know, so it's like everything changes. I'm a lot wiser. I'm smarter. You know, I've learned so much more about my body. You know, like I wouldn't understand or know all this information that I know now if, let's say, we didn't make all those mistakes in terms of carbing up and drying out. You know, we made some mistake that will never, ever happens again.
What does that mean when you say, so if I'm the layperson at home that loves bodybuilding, I think I understand the process of getting ready for competition, and now I hear you saying carbing up, drying out. What does that mean? To me, I'm a diet. I get really big in the off season. I bulk, and then I cut, and I get ready to get on stage. You just said something that is of particular note. You said carbing up, drying out. What does that mean to you?
Because, you know, that stuck out to me because that's what actually destroyed my whole look and my whole prep. You know, my condition was not able to shine due to the process of, let's load him up, you know, and, we're going to dry him out, you know. So that process destroyed, like, literally all the work that we've put in. Let's say 3 weeks out, I was literally just ready. All I got to do is, manipulate the water here and there, you know. But like now, you know, because I mean, carbon up is a thing to get fuller in bodybuilding. If you want to look full, big on stage and dry, you know, there's a carbs plays a lot of role with that, and water does as well. You know, so during that process, we made a lot of mistakes, and we weren't able to achieve the look that we were going for.
So if I am a person that's looking to get ready for my first bodybuilding competition, and I'm anticipating that I can bulk up, and then I can go through my pre-contest prep phase, and let's say I've done that, what does it mean to carb up? What does it mean to dry out?
I mean, for me, to be honest, it's like, you know, if you're looking good at like 3-4 weeks out, you don't really got to do anything crazy. And you don't got to change nothing. Just keep doing what you're doing, and show up on show day, and you will look good. So when we're trying to like, you know, just make things hard for ourselves, we're trying to like, you know, fix things that hasn't damaged yet. You know, that's when we're gonna start running into trouble. You know, so it's more like if you're looking good, nothing broken, you don't change it, and you keep going the way you are, and trust me, you'll nail it.
Do you think sometimes at the last phase of this process, people start doing some things that are just really risky?
Yes.
That they don't need to do?
They go looking for 5% and lose 15. Do you know what I mean? Stuff
What
like
do you
that.
mean when you say that? 5% and lose 50?
Well, I have a lot of experience of this. Just say I'd go to the point where kind of get to the stage of a little bit over conditioning, and then the week of the show, I believe that, you know, if you don't have a coach, you'll hear a few people in the gym, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, and subconsciously over that week, at peak week, I don't even call it that anymore, you start to kind of sabotage yourself a little bit by, Kai said to do it, and Blessing said to, you know, and you start deviating instead of saying, I'm going to do this week, exactly everything that I wrote down there. Because if I do a little bit of Kai and I do a little bit of Blessing and I do a little bit of another guy, well, I don't know what I'm doing if I go to fix it. If I make a list and say, there are all the meals I'm going to eat, that's how I'm going to deal with water in terms of, am I just going to continue to drink normally? If I looked good the Saturday before, it means I'll look good the Saturday next week when I'm on stage. So don't do anything, you know, and guys go messing around with salt, water, you know, and you listen to me, I've seen some guys cut water for 24 hours and stuff, and it works. I'm very sensitive to any water changes. If I stop drinking water or anything like that for a couple of hours, it's my body just basically does exactly what I don't want to do, you know, that kind of way. So I suppose in terms of being able to execute a peak week, to be able to go forward and to make adjustments, you need to have that plan. And you need to stick to that plan no matter what, who comes in. And if you got a coach, don't be listening to you know, maybe if it's a training partner or something like that and he's giving you visual looks, but in terms of don't be listening to other guys in the gym, they want to give you the silver bullet. But when you take that bullet, you're going to end up loading that gun and killing your show day.
So you're saying come up with a plan in advance,
yes,
whether it's through your own guidance or through the guidance or wisdom of your coach. Come up with a game plan. You want to follow through with that game plan, even while you're in the trenches of the experience.
Yes, because I think as competitors, we're very vulnerable. Peak, you know, we've done 3-4 months up to that, and now it's down to 1 week. Okay, and we can throw all that good work out within 48, 72 hours. Do you know what I mean? So the best, as I said, the best thing to do is to get that plan from either your coach or you're coaching yourself. Because once you get that right once, now you know what the plan is. Okay, every day your body might not react the same way. That's just like some days we go in the gym and we're like, oh, strong, really strong today. Okay. And other days it's just an off day. It's like going to work and having a good day and having a bad day. It's just the way what side of the bed did you wake up on? Do you know that kind of way? So, you know, everything that's within our power, which is our diet, our water intake, our training, our posing, everything to do with what we do in the weeks up to the thing. We just need to follow and execute that. Yes. And then once we do that, okay, well, I cut water the morning of the show and I didn't keep sipping. Well, next week, I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to sip through the day and I'm going to see how I look, you know. So it's kind of like a mock for the next time.
So plan in advance, come up with a game plan and follow that game plan.
You know, what a lot of guys tend to do is they do rice, chicken, beef, lean beef, you know, potatoes for 4 months, and then you hear a guy, oh, I had a pizza tonight before the show. It's like, what? That's like just that that, and it can work,
Uh-huh.
but it's like
It's risky.
it's like putting a number on roulette. You know what I mean? If you don't really know, it's a risk to take. You know, that kind of way. And then it's the other side of it is, have you over conditioned yourself? Maybe you need that dirtier, saltier food to carb up. Do you know what I mean? And again, they're all just processed. You have to front load the carbs. Are you carb sensitive? So then you can do it on Thursday, Friday. Are you, do you have a serious metabolism? Do you need to start,
Loading earlier.
a lot earlier, maybe 1,000 grams a day job.
Which is where I think
it's a personal thing.
happens to me, because I think I was over dieted.
Oh yeah.
And get me back to that where I need to be takes
It
takes a lot, and loaded me up with some shitty food I've never had before, that I don't even eat in my off season, because I eat clean, like nearly like all year round. Even on my cheat days, I go for sushi. That's it.
Yeah, your condition was really
But
awesome.
the problem was with the
see you in the gym was very
manner that he was conditioned was a double-edged sword. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, like the conditioning that he had he been able to bring it up the way it should have been represented, nobody looks like that. And I'm not just saying that because I train with him and he's my friend and all that. The thing about him is when he gets his look shape right, nobody looks like that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a hybrid of, a good few different physiques, but nobody really looks like him.
Yeah. He certainly does have a awesome combination of a lot of really,
It's Haney,
really awesome.
it's Flex Wheeler, it's different. He's looking at it in different when he stands in different poses, and it's like, oof, there's a bit of Labrada in there, even on a larger scale, obviously.
Victor Richards.
Victor Richards, yes, for sure.
Victor Richards. I told you this. There was a Victor Richards component to me that I thought was
You said it a couple times.
really awesome. And there was a gentleman that competed many years ago that I thought was just absolutely amazing. He had a vacuum, tremendously wide clavicle. There was just a host of wonderful attributes. He had Edgar Fletcher.
Oh
yeah.
That's another guy that
Even Brian Buchanan. That's a beautiful physique.
That now, you know what? There's something to be said for. Yeah, there was a Brian Buchanan-esque quality to it.
But it's I always say to him as well is like, it's if you take, say, my friends that aren't interested in bodybuilding at all, and just as a marketing point of view, I put two guys out in front. He's one of them, and I won't use anyone else. But just someone's a little bit more of a thicker bodybuilder. For the mainstream guy, they don't really want to look like that, right? But if you had to choose, it's short, this small waist, the big shoulders, the classic beautiful look that looks. Yeah, it's mass, but it's got class.
and the worst thing about that is, that's the thing I said to my coach, Chad Nichols, from the get-go. Like, look, listen, my problem is fill me up right and get me dry out. If we do not nail that, I look so bad. Like, it's like a difference between first place and last place.
Because of the way the muscle bellies are.
It's just like, it doesn't, like when I'm looking back on my photos, even, the evening at Indy, they're okay, I can, after seeing the way I look in New York, we can actually say evening Indy was actually pretty decent, but now looking at my picture from Indy and especially New York, oh my God, it's like, yo, really bad. This is bad. And that's just the difference of getting the carbs and the water, getting everything right,
Did you feel that going into the prejudging for the New York? Did you feel the same way that you felt when you were going into the prejudging for the New York Pro? What was the difference between the feeling you had between both of those two prejudgings?
Going into the New York prejudging, I knew something was off because my face was off. And I kept saying, look, my face does not look like I was competing because I was bloated. I was full of water. And that was our main thing, like, oh, listen, we're not going to worry about water. We're just going to fill you up to the brim. And this right here, this also thing is going to take care of the...
I mean, that goes against kind of everything.
This is going to take care of the water.
That you do
I'm
in
like,
terms of
all
conditioning.
right.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, you have to pull... you can't be relying on something to pull all the water. It's not going to do that because it's not just going to take it from underneath the skin. It's going to take it from everywhere. It's going to take it from everywhere.
So the difference between, that going into that prejudging and going into the prejudging Indy, I know I was shredded in Indy. I just didn't realize how flat I was. I didn't realize how bad my legs were until we started up on those line on that stage, and nothing was popping. There was no line. Everything was blurry. Like, like I was so just damn flat. Even to the point where I think I had memory loss on stage because I was so dehydrated.
It was a more of a flat, but it was a water problem. It was a dryness problem. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you need obviously whatever.
It's,
but
it's
it,
the
but
water.
It was the water. Do you know what I mean? Because you could see when
pulled too hard.
When he came out and did his first presentation, he looks okay. When he came out for the mandatories, then he's not posing the way he is. He's like standing up straight on a. And you're shouting at someone. I know they can't really hear everything you're saying on stage.
Right. They're in the
But at the same time, you're listening out for certain cues, and just there's nothing there. Even
Could you feel your body the same way at the prejudging in the Indy Pro as you could at the New York Pro when you went to contract your muscles?
Those contraction weren't there in Indy because I was.
And again, when you're flatter like that, now you don't feel like if you're full, you just.
But the evening though,
but like now he's trying to have to find where that feels like everything's pushing together, and you can see that, because that's why you're now not opening up your chest because you're trying to squeeze that chest to make it actually contract, so you're actually posing harder. That's what I kept on saying to him was like, if you're gonna have a good day on stage, you need to get up and go boom. Everywhere you stand, you'll look perfect. Like even some of the days that we're doing posing upstairs, and there's times when he's hitting these classic shots, every single one of them makes sense.
Right.
It looks perfect.
Right. Yeah, I've seen it.
You know what I mean? It's just, you know when you're off as well. It's like, because you're asking, like,
I know I was off going into New York. I was like, first it's just my face. I was holding too much water on my face.
How does that feel for the athlete though? To know that there was so much on the line, to have invested so much time, so much work and effort. Family members and friends have flown in from here. Supplement sponsors are there. They're expecting you to do exceedingly well. And the last, I don't know how many weeks, months of your life has been devoted to this one moment where you have to show and prove the morning of that prejudging, moments before walking out on that stage, you're looking in the mirror and you see in your face what you just said. That, oh man, I am not where I wanted to be. How?
I mean, it was real tough, and again, that comes down to like, the type of person I am and the type of mindset that I have, because I was ready for everything. I might go this and I might go that way. And going into New York, the prejudging, I was like, I knew I wasn't in shit, but I'm gonna still go out there and do my best, and see what happens. So after the prejudging, I was like, yo, there was a moment where I was in a room by myself. I was just like, I was just like. After the prejudging, I was a little bit. I was kind of like hangry on myself. I was a little bit mad that I wasn't able to showcase all the hard work, all the things that I wanted to show to the fans, my posting, everything. But because the look wasn't there, everything was off, So going into the evening shows, I came to a town myself like, look, listen, it's gone. I was shooting for the top spot. But now it's just not there. So I'm just going to go out there and represent myself well. Instead of going out there and like be all depressed, and because I still got to carry myself. I still got to represent.
Right.
I still got to represent that energy that people were expecting. Right. So I was like, look, you might as well give me to be honest, you might as well place me last. I don't even care no more. Top 3, top 5, top 6, it doesn't matter. It's out of my hands and it's gone. And the main important thing is we learn from it. So I'm going to go out there, do my posting routine, and put a smile on my face and still represent, give that energy, because I'm sure a lot of them will be confused like, shit, you should be crying,
But again, that's back to as you said earlier on, the entertainer in him. And that's what I always say to him is like, even at Indy, you're you're saying you're going to bring entertainment and, you know, posing and this, that, and the other, you know, you can't go out there and go,
Right.
yeah, you want to see it?
Right.
You gotta represent.
Passive aggressive kind of, you know, the way you see some guys do it, and that's your thing. So, you know, and then same when you said after shows and going and seeing the fans, it's like that's very, even though they're not my fans, but you know, that's very important for me to see that, because you know what I mean, that's who's coming to represent you. Just because you have a bad day, they don't care whether you came last, right, third, second, first. It's irrelevant. They love you, the person that you are. So for it to be trying to sneak out or bypass these people, I know the feeling when you have people when you're competing, you feel you let them down. You feel like you're more bad for that than you do for yourself. And it's silly, you know, that kind of, and sometimes it blurs the lines. You start thinking, oh, why am I competing? You know, and you forget the love for training.
Did you ever feel like that? Did you ever feel like you let?
You know what? To be honest, though, you know, it's like I know there's a lot of OGs out there, you know, that actually reach out to me, like Chris Cormier, Chris Cormier really want me to like.
Wait, Chris Cormier reached out to you?
It's like, go out there and fuck this man. Fuck this boys up.
Really?
Yeah, big time.
Damn.
It goes, go out there and fuck him up.
legendary status
That's
right
like
there.
a week out. I was a week out. Because I know all the OGs, you know, I think they can see some in me, and they love the energy they're bringing in. The Flex Wheeler. You know, I had a
Flex
great
Wheeler?
interview with Flex. He was telling me how much of a fan he is.
Get out. Flex Wheeler?
So they were all excited. I'm talking about all the OGs. Like, I got Dexter Jackson, he hit me up as well. He always commenting on my page. It goes, go out there and kill him and show him. You know, even what's your man's Bonek? It was like, oh, they're scared. They didn't know what's coming. Really? You know, so it's like I knew all this OG, like they really want me to do well because they know what's coming. They know something new is coming, and they love this type of energy. You know, the interview with Flex and Bob, like literally, they just want me to talk shit. You know, and we were talking about, okay, what's going to happen when I, you know, qualify for the Olympia? You know, are we going to get like all this? I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk so much shit. So they were all excited. So that was my mindset when I was like, shit, I'm going to let all these people down. You know, I was like, oh, I was more angry at that, you know, now, you know, like all the fans, you know, like, you know what it was like?
Buddy, I think you felt you owed it to bodybuilding to give that pose down, because if that pose down went down the way you wanted, the roof would have fucking blown off that place.
If everything that went the way we planned, oh my God.
You know? Can you imagine, like, the pose down was good without him in it.
Oh, yeah, it was good. They did really good.
In fairness to Justin and all them guys, they fucking
Nick
brought
and Justin,
it, man.
they brought it.
And it was exciting. The noise in that room.
It was exciting.
However, if that was a boogeyman and a mutant.
it would be total.
Do you like that guy?
Who?
What's
Justin?
his name you just
Justin?
said?
I think it was Justin.
I mean, do you care for him as a personality?
I don't really know him. I don't know him. I was just fair play to him. Like he did well.
They brought a bit of hype when they were on stage. I like that. You know?
I mean, because you do remember at the Indie Pro, he was talking shit on stage.
He was talking shit.
I did not like that.
Listen to me. We're
I
gonna be talking
still
shit.
don't.
We're gonna be talking shit about him for a long time to go. We only started.
Listen,
There's plenty to go when that's.
I'm used to people talking shit. You know, when my time is ready to get back at you, trust me. You gonna get it.
Yeah, well, you slap him in the mouth. I mean, really on stage. I mean, not in real life, but I mean, like on stage. I don't know.
But again, isn't that the kind of stuff that like you are out of your seat? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did not like that. I saw his
Don't
ass.
That's your boy.
I saw him outside the auditorium. He was at the top of an escalator. Honestly, I felt like Apollo Creed. You know, when he helped Rocky and shit, and then I felt like, yo, man, what this dude? He was still. He looked at me from the top of the escalator. I was coming up the escalator. He was coming down on the other side. This dude looked down the escalator. He did one of those. What's up? Wait. Yo, I didn't like that.
Do you know what you need to do then? Get on stage and take him out.
No, I mean that's not even that's like, you know, I mean, you know, but I don't like that. It hurt.
It's all connected. Yeah, it's like he's like, I'm gonna fuck your boy.
Yo,
But
I
then,
mean,
but then again, he probably knows that you're part of his crew. So,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but
but I'm saying, but that's the good thing, isn't it? Isn't that there's lines drawn now?
Yeah.
So it's like when he competes, it's like
It's
you know what I mean? Because
They're always
sometimes
gonna get
it's
it.
not exciting when two guys are competing. Like it's like an amateur show. It's like,
they're always gonna get it.
and only his family are going, you know, hey, yeah, let's get it. But this is different.
Nick Walker's mother and father, we got a chance to meet
Yeah, yeah,
outside.
Yeah,
You know,
it was so cool.
yo, she wore a shirt, a T-shirt.
Yeah, Walking Nation.
Yo,
Yeah,
I am the
boot.
mother of
Oh,
Nick
did it
Walker.
say-
Yeah, it said on the back, I am the mother, something like that. I remember, man, listen, when I saw her in person and she walked up and I realized who this was,
Yeah.
you know, she was beautiful.
Yes.
Her energy was
Yes.
just
They were
Yeah,
great.
they were great.
so
It's like-
warm
I
and
was shocked.
Yeah, so was
I was
I.
shocked because I was walking by, and then the mother,
They came
Nick's
up to
mom,
you.
tapped me on my back. I was like, who are you guys? I was like, you guys are Nick's parent? She's like, yeah. I was surprised they liked me.
I saw you hug her. I saw you hug her. Man,
I was like,
that was so beautiful.
First thing I said, I was like, look, listen, there ain't nothing personal between me and Nick. I love your son. We were just trying to solve this. I was like, no, yeah, we understand. We get it. You guys did great. You know, it was yeah, that was a beautiful
They're really
moment,
cool
man.
people.
That's probably one of the
Really
highlights
good.
of the weekend. Get to meet Nick's parents, and another awesome moment that happened at the after the New York Pro was I was doing an interview with Sean Ray and Flex. You know, I gotta bring that energy. I gotta
Yeah.
still be like after placing last. no, after guest posting.
It's still running. It's
He said
still
after
running. It's
guest
still running. It's still running.
After guest posting at the New York Pro.
That is the most uncomfortable seat in the house to stand there and watch the
Oh
show
my God.
in semi-relaxed pose on stage. That's not.
You know, I was trying to smile.
Yeah,
Oh no, he was not comfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
terrible
it was
fit.
not- oh, it was a terrible fit.
I've been there, so I mean, that is
You know
not.
what
not a
kept-
good place to be.
Hey, you know what kept playing in my mind? When Nick said, well, you're going to be watching my glutes.
He said that.
I was shit. I'm actually watching Nick's glutes.
Oh,
Oh my God.
He's like predicting shit. He's predicting shit.
Oh my God. he said, you're going to be watching my glutes in that first car. So I was like, oh
wow,
I was like, this
that's
is bad. I should just go
Just
home.
wanted to turn the lights off.
wow. He said that.
Oh man, as I was saying, one of the highlights of the weekend was Jack Wood coming over to me and he literally shook my hand. He goes, "Thank you for what you're trying to do for the sport." I'm like, "Here you go, here you go. I won."
And that's the thing, you know, like it's. I know it's hindsight stuff, but I don't really like kind of going on it. But you know, in my heart to heart, it's like it's before you even started this, and like we always shoot for the scars. You know, if it's not first, you know, it kind of doesn't matter. But you know, kind of like as I said, the blessing is like no matter what happens in these shows, is like what you've started and created. It's starting something new. Do you know that kind of way? Beyond finishing first and whatever and all that shit. That's coming. You know what I mean? It's only a matter of time. But what he started with all this, I think, is going to catapult things further, especially with the new generation. You know, we got like Hunter the brother, Sergio Olive, who speaks his mind as well, which is great. And then you got Nick and himself, and there's probably a few others that I'm probably leaving out. But I'm just saying, you know, it looks like the future of the sport is in good hands, and I think that's why you know you got guys like Chris Cormier and Bonek, because they see that there's something quite special there in this group of guys coming up.
Well, you know, Chris Comer and Bonek, those guys are known for like putting the goon hand down behind the scene. Real talk. I've seen. Like, wait a minute.
Bonek don't take shit.
We're champions. We ain't taking shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bonek is-
Bonek ain't taking no shit.
No.
You know.
He'll fight you right now.
Yeah, you know. I mean, hey.
I think I saw one time I was chasing that little Marco around the expo.
Yeah. In
Who
Dubai.
Marco was running.
In Dubai.
Lou Marco was running in
He was
circles.
like, "Where is he? Where is he?"
No.
And Bodak was ready to fucking knock somebody out.
Yeah. Don't you say my name? I was like, "Oh."
Now, Louis Marco's a friend of mine. I definitely respect that man.
He was definitely
Yeah,
running, Kai.
Yeah, he was running.
Wow. Well, I'm not laughing at my boy Louis Marco. Louis Marco.
It's a long time ago.
Oh
It's a long time.
Louis Marco's my man. But if I were there, I would definitely want to grab
in.
Will. Hey, Will, come on, man.
That's
Stop.
my boy. That's my boy.
Champions. We got
But you know, to have all the hype for just two I know Nick's obviously he's not actually a rookie.
By the way, he actually did grab me backstage one day.
Who that?
Yeah, Bodak grabbed me.
No way.
Man, I don't know. We were somewhere in like, damn it, we were in
Brazil.
Nah, we had to be in. God, it could have been
I don't know.
Slovakia,
Oh.
Prague. Yeah, EVLS.
Yes, yeah, man.
I remember that.
Yo, man, I had some problems backstage one day, and I had a lot of pressure on me, and I didn't do so well, backstage with the pressure on me. I kind of like I don't want to say a meltdown, but I definitely was. I was in my own control, However, I remember dude grabbing on me. Yo, God, chill. I'm like, but who? God damn, who this strong motherfucker got me going? Dope fiend over here. Get off me. I'm cool, but get off. You ain't got to touch me. But I remember I was really like, I was not feeling very well about something that had happened backstage. And it was one of those moments, and you know how brothers will pull you aside and just say, hey man, calm down, relax. Come on, people are looking at you. Pay attention, And it was like, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks, Will. Yeah. Yeah.
Will is cool, man.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Real nice
He's a
dude.
cool dude.
100%.
That's definitely. All right. So we're here. We've moved on.
Yes, sir.
We're on the other side of this experience. Now, real talk, we got some lessons learned. We know
Oh, yeah.
we're going into the off season now.
Yes, sir.
How do we do that?
20 pounds, baby.
What?
Get them legs up
Oh, okay.
and them chest.
Yeah.
Your chest, wait a
Let's
minute,
get
your
thick,
chest was
baby.
identified as a weak point?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
If not seeing, standing there, I know, I got to bring my legs. My legs got to come up. My chest got to come up. My triceps, especially, and the back. I think my back is really good, but man, when I really put that meat on that lower lats, it will be light out. We had a thickness on the lower lats, and get maybe a little bit wider.
I think that there are things about your back that really just didn't get a chance to be seen in the fall
Definitely,
this
100%.
season. And I think
There's a lot of things. My whole physique, my whole shape.
I mean, to see if you don't really like putting percentages on things, but it's in my head. I'm like, at Indy at the night show, I think that was about 80%. That kind of way, and he has 20% more to give because you can even see when he's hitting the back shots. It had a lovely polish. It was very 3D lines. Just it looks like I would say to him about the 1990 Olympia. Where everyone was just fucking like Sean Ray, everyone was just on point. Ronnie, flex. It was beautiful, and the conditioning was just that's when you go to a show and you sit back and go, wow. Sometimes when you go to shows now, it's like just one or two guys like wow, and then the other rest are like well, that kind of way. But that's the kind of look that he can bring with the conditioning and the fullness. We just have to, we now have the data to figure out not to over condition and to pull things back when we get to a certain point now, that kind of way, and start to refeed him early to recover because he looked tired.
Yeah, especially my legs.
The legs were very tired.
Stairmaster
He's doing Stairmaster too much. You know what I mean? It destroys
Just
the
for
legs.
just for the type of the body that I have and the shape.
Okay.
Stairmaster is
6 weeks out, gone. Going on the treadmill, just low impact. Because if you're going to be doing the glutes and the hammies and all the stuff we're doing in the morning, that on top of that it's too much of a.
Wait, so you're saying you're doing glute and hamstrings in the morning every morning?
Yes, sir.
Really?
That's the thing that I actually want to continue on this off season. Again, My hamstring.
Okay,
is
well,
like
we don't
one
want
of
to tell
my-
everybody all your secrets. Now. I mean,
No one wants to do that shit. I hate doing that shit. He used to drag me to do that shit. I was like,
Ain't
oh.
nobody's doing that except the boogie.
Here we go. I arrived there and he's already on the machine. I'm like, here we go. Now they got the glutenator here. That's like a whole
The
glute thing.
Oh, wait. So what is the glutenator? What is
That's
that?
the new machine they have. You know, that you sit into it and
Record One Gym, right?
Record One Gym.
Oh.
And it opens. It's kind of like an abductor machine, but it moves.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really.
It's like actually
You'll
doing
love
this
it
muscular
because it's
from the
like
back up.
see all the Panada ones. It's like oh, you can do this little muscle here and this muscle here and this muscle here. Whereas this just when you get into it, you're just gonna go. You'll love it because it's just the contractions like boom. You gotta
Really?
wear a seatbelt and all that shit.
Oh, you have to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah,
Strap.
yeah, yeah.
Gotta
So
strap.
how
get
much?
strapped.
How much of this training off season will be equipment versus just heart desire and building off of the lessons learned for you this season?
I mean, it's gonna be like a combination of both. You know what I mean? And just gonna, overall, my goal is to put on minimum 15 pounds, of lean muscle tissue, and that's why now, I was showing you my training program, my sort of like, something that I got going on in my mind. I'm finding ways of switching my training programs up. Stop doing all the stuff that I've been doing for the last couple of years, and just incorporate total new split, new workout plan altogether. Because I feel my body's like sort of used to all this stuff that I've been doing for years, and part of the things I showed you there was like, you saw the touch-ups, and it's actually quite similar to like a lot of things that you've showed me, like, hitting glutes every day.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Giving away the secrets now.
I didn't say that. Blop that off. Overall, I got a lot of work to do.
But I think like in terms of his training, it's kind of like we've done hard and heavy till the cows come home.
Now, I remember you train very, very, very heavy. I've seen videos with you, and I've gotten a chance to train with you myself. I've seen you move tremendous poundages in the gym. How do you think your lessons from this competitive season will reflect in your training now in the off season?
Definitely, it's going to be a lot of more, mind muscle connection rather than just pulling the weight. Because before it's like, I just want to train as heavy as I can. I'm not really thinking about, the actual muscle you're connecting with. You're just like lifting this heaviest weight, and you don't care whether you're actually engaging the right muscle or not. So right now, even from like, pulsing every day and, flexing from ground up and, picking up weight, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about being on that stage. It doesn't matter how heavy the weight is, It's all about the muscle that I'm trying to engage and make it work. So right now, most of my training now, it's going to be more like pulsing, which is a lot of things that you do, like when it comes to, before I would bent over roll 5 plates. I think I've done 5 plates before,
Yeah, I think
which
that's
is
a good-
just like, just lifting, just repping shit out,
I think that's a good thing about kind of you coming into his life as well, is that because, I've tried to kind of get him to go down that road of kind of, and I've been unsuccessful.
I'm a little stubborn.
Yeah, but listen to me, it's hard to abandon something you've had success with. Do you know what I mean? We're creatures of habit, and we don't like, someone says, "Oh, use this carb source." So you're like, "Fuck that! I'm going to stick to rice and potatoes. That served me well." That kind of way. And it's the same with a training system. Is you don't want to abandon what worked. But sometimes we get caught into an autopilot mode, where we're just going in here and I'm out. And that's not, we don't do that in terms of. But if you're leading the pack all the time, you got to always think, am I still up here, or have I sort of slowly started to come down 5%? You know what I mean? So, definitely, I think that that's a big change that will benefit him in terms of tempos, time under tension. Not swinging the muscle, like really, lengthening and shortening them contractions. That's, as I said, that's the next level for him to go to the next level. That's where you got to. And what will happen is, over time, before you know it, you go in one day and you'll be like, shit, I got 5 plates and I'm lifting these perpendicular, like parallel to the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just you got to pay that time to do that. You know, as again, it's, I think I've said to you before, you know, you see guys doing bent over rows and they're standing up straight. It's just a trap. You know what I mean? It's just a trap bar. Just get into a trap bar.
Right,
if you look at the OGs, like back in the day, like Samir Banu and stuff like that, or Arnold, look when they did bent over rows. They're like, boom, like a pendulum.
Parallel to the
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, none of this bullshit that's just putting on delts.
Extra
You know, and it's actually causing you trouble. And then you become fucking, you're told, oh, yeah, you're dominant there and you're trapped. Now you got an issue. You know, but it's good to, you know, there's many different ways to skin a cat. And I think that's kind of, this has opened up our eyes to kind of what needs to be done at this stage.
Improvement on your physique will be what you will be focusing on primarily this time in the off season. What else will we expect to see in your career in this off season? What can we look forward to seeing? What's next for you?
I mean, definitely, you know, a lot of, in terms of training and bodybuilding, definitely a lot of progress, you know, and more focused than ever. You know, it's gonna be different, you know, and I believe when I do step on stage next year, it's gonna be a total different person, and you know, which is what the judges are gonna be looking for. They're gonna be looking for a crazy transformation, you know, progress. So, and that's what's gonna happen. You know, because now, you know, the mistake that we made, that's never going to happen again. You know, and if that happens again, that's going to be on me. So right now, you know, there's still a lot of conversation to be had, you know, decisions and, you know, what way I want to go with things, you know, in terms of training and, you know, making sure I have the right people in my corner and, you know, people who are just as hungry as I am, you know. So there's a lot of things that I'm, you know, but I know exactly what to do. You know, it's just all about, you know, having these conversations and, you know, put plans in place and, okay, this is what we're doing, you know, this is what we're doing it with, and this is where we're going, you know. But, you know, we already know what we got to do, and, you know, we're going to make it happen.
Well, you know what? I am very, very impressed with that about you. I think for the first time I got a chance to really come out here to Florida and talk with you and train with you and see how you operate. You know, you are your own man. You're very intelligent and methodical about how you approach developing your career as an athlete and as a businessman, and the ideas of even being the personality that is the influencer that you are. I have on many occasions talked to you about recognizing the endless potential that I believe I see in you. And I am very, very, very excited when I think about what is to come with your career, both in front of the camera and on that competitive bodybuilding stage. With that said, I guess what we're going to do is we want to open up the floor for anything that any of the two of you would like to say. Any shout-outs you want to give, people you want to thank.
Just great to be on this journey. I'm actually going home on Saturday.
Oh,
And I gotta do another 15 days in Barcelona this time.
Quarantine radio. Just starting into quarantine radio, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, you're going to 15 days of quarantine
In Barcelona.
is waiting for you once you leave.
You know, I know
Just
a lot
get
of
a fax
people
in,
are
bro.
listening to this.
Just
going,
get a fax in.
Oh yeah. You have to go to Mexico for 2 weeks per lad. It's like, yeah, but when you got to pay for it, it's like it's not that great. Like, you know what I mean?
Are
On your
you
own.
in a hotel room during that time, or
No,
are you allowed
I'm
to like go to the
I
beach?
know I can do whatever I want.
Oh wow,
If
okay.
he goes back to Ireland direct, he'll be in a hotel room.
Yeah, they make me pay €2,000 to stay in a hotel out by the airport and give me 3 meals a day.
2 weeks.
3 meals a day.
Wow,
I can't train.
That's prison, bro.
that is.
And you're paying for it too.
Wow.
Pays to be in jail, bro.
You know, so I have to go to Spain first for 15 days. On the 15th day, then I can fly back to Ireland.
And did they give you a COVID test when you land, or how does that work?
They're changing the rule. Right now, I've got to isolate for 5 days, and then on the 5th day they give me another test, and then if it's passed, I'm good to go.
Wow,
It's a joke.
that's a lot of commitment, man. You did all of that to come out and support your friend.
Yeah, but it's it's like like anyone would love to experience sitting here in front of Kai Greene. You joking me? You kidding me?
Right.
Training with Kai Greene? You kidding me? You know what I mean? I could train with Boogeyman and Kai Greene. You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean. It's like that's something that you can't. That basically by knowing him, that it benefits me. Do you know what I mean? That's this. You know, I mean, it's amazing. Like, you know, I was only saying to Aaron Singerman there, was talking to him in the morning. I was
Who?
Like, Aaron Singerman.
You mean the owner of Redcon 1?
Yes, the owner of Redcon 1.
The boss man.
I was like saying to him, like, you know, like, I was like, it's mad. It's like, it's like, you know, people at home would be like, you know, we're waiting on Kai to come to train. I was like, we're going to start training. I was like, we're going to start training on Kai? Rich Kai? You know, the kind of people at home tell me, what? But just to have that experience and be able to be here, because if you train with the best, you know, you'll eventually rub off in some way, shape, or form, you know, that kind of way. Even if it just takes little bits that you learn along the way, I'll take them home with me and I'll implement them in my what I'm doing, and it will improve me.
I think we all got a chance to learn some important lessons. I mean, even that whole process of prep, there's things that you think you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, having done it, and only
I know.
You know, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and there are things that we take for granted until you're now in the trenches of the experience and have to explain why you believe this is the right thing to do. How well do you really know what you think you know?
But it's just great having them different points of view to make you think. You know, because like say where I'm training, it's like I'm leading the pack, and if you're always leading the pack, it's, you know what I mean. It's hard to get much back. You know, the kind. Whereas in this dynamic, it's constantly learning. The energy's, you know, at a different level. It's, you know, your body responds to that. You know, the energy, the positivity, the environment that you put yourself into. You know, and that's.
Yeah, I've had some great training sessions, you know, these last few months. I mean, a lot of things to commit to memory.
You can see it. You've been grown.
Right.
Shit, biggest, I said it to you when I saw you when I came here first. I was like, shit, you're the biggest you've been in, I think, in a little while, right?
Right. Well,
you know?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm just saying.
You would know.
He's
more tuned in than I am.
I'm telling you, you put on a shit ton of fucking muscle.
So kind. That is very diplomatic. He's a gentleman and a scholar. Yeah. Diplomacy will always become you, sir.
But, no, definitely just being over here is deadly.
It'll get you everywhere.
Different life.
Ah. You know? Well, on that note,
all right,
Blessing, you got some things you want to say?
Look, listen, I just want to give shout out to everybody out there who's been supporting and following the journey. Trust me, this is not the end. This is the start, and you guys are in for a hell of a ride. And you know, like I said earlier, life is a journey. It's not about the start or even what happens to you along the way. It's about never giving up on your dream, and you keep going. You keep striving until you be great. Trust me, we're bringing the fire. We're bringing the energy.
Oh, yeah.
That positive shit. Shit that people don't like.
Oh.
You know, that trash talking shit.
Oh, they can't stop talking about
you. Boogeyman is bringing all of that.
You love him, you hate him.
Hey,
you can't stop talking about him.
Stay tuned to my off-season progress. You know, right now, I'm taking a little bit of break, taking care of my body, cleaning my body out. And soon enough, we're going to be back on that train of gains, Boogeyman train.
Boogeyman train. I like that. That sounds like
back to killing shit in the gym with Mr. Getting It Done.
Yes.
All right, so just want to say thank you to you guys. Stay tuned. We're bringing something special to you guys. 2022 is gonna be better, baby. Let's go. Oh, shout out to Aaron Singerman. Redcon 1 for making all of this shit possible. Possible.
That's right. That's what's up. Absolutely.
All right, man. Just want to say thank you, and you know, still locked in and still blessed.
Oh yeah. Well, it's your boy K with the AKA Mr. Getting It Done. This has been Getting It Done. We have, if you're just tuning in, spent an exciting hour talking with Blessing and his boy
Gav King.
Gav King 86.
Yes.
86.
You got it.
Gav King 86. That's right. I just said it. I'm going to say it again. Gav King 86, just in case we have a great editor in the building.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to my team. I got to send a special shout out to Redcon 1 Film Studios. These people are amazing. They are behind the scenes, in front of the cameras, behind the cameras, on the technical sides of everything that I have no clue about. You know, just want to make sure We say thank you, because without you guys, we just would not be able to shine. We stand on your shoulders. And on that note, Retcon 1, we are out. Peace.